Hello, doctors. I'm Dr. Chris Rapoff of QME Continuing Education, and welcome again to this week's presentation. Today's topic has become a popular one since 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. That is the issue of working from home. Now, I'm sure that you've encountered at least a couple applicants since the end of 2020 in your career as a QME who have filed a claim for a work-related injury while working from home. Initially, one would think that it's the best of both worlds, getting paid while sitting in the comfort of your living room or home office. Well, not so fast. There is some recent evidence that working from home may just have a negative health consequence. Let's take a look at this latest study on the topic, and it is hot off the press. This report was dated January 21st, 2024. These are the sources that I referenced when producing this presentation, and feel free to copy and paste these links into your browser if you would like to read more about this study. First, a little background. So employees who work from their home instead of an office or other location is really not a new phenomenon. In the 1980s and 1990s, some industries began to employ workers who worked exclusively from home. Maybe you first received a telemarketing or a sales call several decades ago. Well, very likely that call was initiated by a home-based worker. So the advances in technology, computing, and cell phones contributed to the feasibility of home-based work. But the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020 brought in an entirely new era of work from home when virtually overnight, many businesses were shuttered and an increasing number of employees began working from home. Now, a survey conducted in May of 2020 by researchers from the Stanford Institute for Economic Policy Research found that 42% of the United States workforce was working from home, while 33% were not working, and 26% remained working from their employees or employers' premises, primarily as an essential worker. The researchers also observed that only 51% of the United States workforce can work from home. These individuals obviously were primarily professionals, managers, financial workers who basically easily were able to perform their jobs on their computers by video conference, emails, and phones. According to Bloom et al., the remaining nearly half of the United States workforce, of course those employed in retail, healthcare, transportation, and manufacturing, can only perform those jobs from a traditional work site. Although COVID-19 pandemic was declared officially over in the United States on May 11th of 2023, a significant number of employees continue to work from their homes either on a full-time basis or at least several days a week. Now, Bloom et al. Predicts that post-pandemic employees will work from home 1 to 3 days per week, accounting for approximately 20% of the workforce on any given day. While some research has been assessed the productivity of work from home, few studies have looked at the health consequences associated with working from home. Now, a recent study conducted by the researchers at the School of Nursing and University of Michigan, also in Ann Arbor, Michigan, University of Chicago, and the School of Nursing in San Francisco, explain how working from home may affect health behaviors and mental health. The study in particular, exploring the characteristics and health outcomes of working from home, it was published in November of 2023 in an edition of the American Journal of Industrial Medicine. It finds that working from home may negatively affect health behaviors and mental health income. More on this in a bit. Now, the goal of this studies, the authors admit that the significant trend seen during the COVID-19 pandemic of large percentages of the U.S. workforce suddenly shifting to working from their homes was unprecedented. It was also unexpected and implemented without consideration of what all the consequences might be, such as health consequences. Their goal was to examine whether there were any health-related differences between employees who work from their homes, WFH, and employees who do not work from their home, not WFH. Such information is especially important as a prediction of post-pandemic hybrid. That is, the employees who work from home 1 to 3 days a week. And the United States workforce is becoming more of a reality than just a mere forecast as they expected. Let's get a bit into the research methodology. So first, this study used data from 2021 California Health Interview Survey, which is the largest state health survey in the United States. Each year, this surveyor interviews more than 20,000 households and collects health data on adults, adolescents, and children to better understand the health and the healthcare needs of California's population. The author used this interview process for adult data and excluded adults who were either unemployed or looking for work. Now, altogether, the data set included over 12,000 individuals. And this group was then divided into those who work from home and those who did not work from home. Of those 12,000 plus adults included in the study, 39% were working from home and 61% were not working from home. Demographics and biological measures such as age, sex, race, and BMI were recorded. The study also recorded 14 broad industrial categories ranging from agriculture, which encompasses forestry, fishing, hunting, and mining, to educational service, which includes healthcare and social assistance. 13 occupations were also chosen. I'll give you the first three and you can read the rest. But computer, engineering, and science. Second was construction and extraction. And third was education, legal, community service, arts, and yoga. Now next, two health outcome variables were considered. First, the health behaviors, which included smoking, alcohol consumption, and fruit-related nutrition. And that is referencing the number of times fruit is eaten per week and in the past month. The second outcome variable was mental health. That variable was measured by use of the Kessler 6-item psychological distress questionnaire, which studies the authors describe as a globally accepted tool to identify serious mental illness. It records feelings such as nervousness, hopelessness, restlessness, worthlessness, and depression by frequency that can be added together, and a high score is an indication of severe distress. Now let's take a look. The findings may be a bit surprising. First, the study found that the age, sex, marital status, educational level, annual household income, and BMI differed significantly between the work-from-home group and the non-work-from-home group. The majority of those in the work-from-home group were aged 30 to 39, had annual household incomes of more than $150,000, and worked predominantly in the occupation sector of computer, engineering, and science. Now, in contrast, the majority of the not work-from-home group were aged 50 to 64 years, had an annual household income between $50,000 and $99,000, and worked in the service sector. Now, these findings aren't specifically and especially surprising, but what does come to us as a surprise is those in the not work-from-home group had better overall outcomes than those that work-from-home counterparts, except for smoking. So more individuals in the non-work-from-home group either never consumed alcohol or had not consumed alcohol for long durations of time. Similarly, they had higher levels of fruit nutrition, meaning they consumed more fruit by week and by month in comparison to the work-from-home group. Now, in terms of mental health issues, the not work-from-home group experienced less mental stress as well. The only health variable which the work-from-home group showed a better significant health outcome was the non-work-from-home group in terms of smoking. Now, of particular interest in this study, the authors reported on previous research that had shown that early career workers, those with less than 5 years of job duration, are vulnerable to safety and health risks at work. In this study, the authors made what they characterize as a critical finding: the necessity of managing mental distress in early career workers in both the work from home and not from work from home groups. They recommend a regular evaluation of mental distress in early career workers and the establishment of a management system that can connect those with high distress to resources such as employee assistance programs. Interesting. Well, that's surprising information. Should employers be concerned for their employees? It does seem quite likely that a steady percentage of our workforce will continue to work from home at least several days a week. And Bloom, as I had mentioned before, they're adamant that work from home workers are going to be here to stay, but predicts that it will be at a least frequency of 1 to 3 days per week, which can ease the stress of commuting, enable workers to use their work from home days of quiet, thoughtful work, and use their time in the office for collaboration and meetings. While Bloom's prediction seems reasonable, should employers be concerned about the health consequences of work from home employees? Well, although the study did find that overall health outcomes apart from smoking were better in the non-working from home group than those in the work from home group, likely that finding would be significantly improved by a post-pandemic work-from-home group model that's limited to 1 to 3 days per week instead of full-time. However, this study underscores the need for employers to be vigilant, especially with workers in their early years of their careers, less than 5 years, as those workers are more vulnerable to safety and health risks, including mental health, whether they work from home or they do not work from home. So some very interesting findings, and I don't know about you, but I'm actually surprised by the results and the conclusions that they reached in this study. I suppose that we should ask ourselves, is this type of work arrangement for everybody? Apparently it isn't, and I'm sure that there will be more in-depth discussion of this new working arrangement in the coming months, as this topic doesn't appear to be going away anytime soon. Well, doctors, I'm Dr. Chris Rapoff, and I wanted to thank you for taking the time to join me in this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do look forward to sharing some other interesting subjects as they relate to topics involving workers' compensation in the state of California. Until next time, thank you.